November 13, 1998. 3:47 a.m. A silent shadow drifts through a perfect circle carved into a metal roof in Charlotte, North Carolina. Below the ceiling, tiles are stacked with surgical precision, a single rope dangles, and the heavy silence of an impossible crime lingers. The morning manager arrives at 5:30 a.m., finding the front doors locked and the dining room appearing completely undisturbed and normal. Then she notices the office door standing wide open. The safe is hollowed out, yet no alarms triggered and no windows broke. Tactical units climb the roof, discovering a 14-inch circle cut through heavy metal with the expertise of a master structural engineer. They find no fingerprints, no DNA, and no digital footprints. This was not a random act, it was a calibrated operation. Over 18 months, the same ghost hauntingly appears in 43 different restaurants across 5 separate states using the same method. The agency investigators are baffled by the precision, eventually dubbing this elusive, high-climbing phantom with a chilling nickname, the Roofman. But the most terrifying detail is not how he enters, but that he has been living silently right above their heads. Jeffrey Manchester was born in the quiet suburbs of Sacramento, raised in a strict household where discipline and prayer were mandatory. He was an average student, yet he possessed a hidden appetite for testing boundaries and masterfully deceiving those in positions of authority. By age 20, Jeffrey had a wife and 3 children, working long hours at McDonald's where he memorized every security blind spot. Realizing fast food wages could not support a family of 5, Jeffrey joined the elite 82nd Airborne Division as a paratrooper. Military life forged him into a weapon, teaching him tactical entry, rappelling, and the psychological discipline required to remain motionless for hours. Despite his specialist rank and honorable service, crushing debt and a collapsing marriage pushed the desperate soldier toward a dark, criminal path. With only $147 left, Jeffrey utilized his roofing knowledge and military precision to execute his first high-stakes heist. That first robbery yielded $4,000, proving to Jeffrey that his unique skill set made him an untouchable ghost in the night. By 1999, the family man had vanished, replaced by a calculated predator who treated every commercial roof like a tactical battlefield. He would hide in crawl spaces for days, surviving on stolen rations while watching employees through small gaps in the acoustic ceiling. His methodology was flawless: wait for the morning shift, emerge in a mask, and calmly usher terrified staff into the walk-in freezers. He never raised his voice, maintaining a polite yet firm demeanor that left his victims shaken but physically unharmed during the heists. The agency task force struggled to keep pace as he struck across state lines, always staying one step ahead of their stakeouts. They realized they were hunting a professional who understood surveillance better than the agents assigned to capture his mysterious, shadow-like form. This was a man who didn't just rob businesses, he occupied them, turning the architecture of capitalism into his own private fortress. He began scouting locations with the cold detachment of a general, choosing targets based on roof accessibility and police response times. He invested his early winnings into better equipment, purchasing specialized tools designed to cut through industrial-grade steel without making a sound. Every night was a rehearsal, every robbery a performance, as he monitored police frequencies to ensure he was never caught off guard. He knew the exact second the last employee left and the precise moment the morning manager would turn the key in the lock. To remain unheard, he wore oversized socks over his boots, allowing him to glide across resonant metal roofs like a silent phantom. The agency analysts began to suspect their target wasn't a common thief, but a highly trained operative with a background in unconventional warfare. He didn't need to blow the safe. He simply watched from above as managers unknowingly revealed their secret codes and daily routines.
The details match the previous robberies
exactly. The line
exactly.
between the paratrooper and the predator blurred, until Jeffrey Manchester existed only as a ghost in the machinery of the city. He would often seal the roof behind him, living inside the very structures he intended to rob,
move to the freezer
becoming
access
an invisible
point.
part of
Secure
the building.
The perimeter on my mark.
The hunt was intensifying, but the roofman was no longer just a thief. He was becoming a legend that defied every law of physics. In May 2000, Jeffrey decides to escalate his game by targeting 2 Gastonia locations within 20 minutes of each other. The first robbery goes perfectly, yielding $4,000 and leaving the morning crew locked safely inside the cold freezer. He drives 3 blocks to the second location, unaware that his streak of perfect luck is finally about to vanish. At 5:47 a.m., an employee triggers the silent alarm while Jeffrey is busy directing staff toward the back office. The agency response is immediate, with tactical units arriving within 7 minutes, forcing the paratrooper to abandon his vehicle. He flees through suburban backyards in full military fatigues, eventually cornered by officers who discovered his specialized tools and ballistics. Sentenced to 45 years, Jeffrey is sent to Brown Creek, where he spends 3 years meticulously planning an impossible escape. By 2004, he had constructed a specialized black plywood platform designed to latch onto the undercarriage of a laundry truck. He successfully evades 2 security checkpoints while suspended inches above the asphalt, eventually disappearing into the woods to freedom. The guards check the undercarriage with mirrors, but they only see black metal, missing the men clinging to the frame. Jeffrey didn't just hide. He moved into a local Toys R Us, living off baby formula and riding bicycles.
It's wonderful to see you all here today.
He eventually built a secret apartment inside an abandoned Circuit City, complete with a television, a mattress, and a DVD player. While living this double life, he joined a local church under a false identity and even began a serious relationship. His run ended after a botched robbery on Boxing Day led police to his hidden room, where a fingerprint was found. Investigators discovered him watching a movie about a fugitive, a final ironic twist in a case that redefined the word legendary. Now serving over a century in Supermax isolation, Jeffrey Manchester remains a man who refuses to accept the reality of walls.
Perfect catch.
Living inside the toy store required extreme discipline, surviving on baby food to avoid leaving any evidence of his presence. He utilized his roofing skills to create a hidden entrance that remained undetected by property inspectors for several months. The church members saw a kind, helpful man named David, never suspecting he was the notorious Roofman hiding in plain sight. On December 26th, he attempted one final score at the very store that had sheltered him for half a year. In his secret room, he found solace in movies, ironically favoring stories about legendary outlaws who outsmarted the authorities. The final arrest occurred on a quiet street, ending a 6-month run that had captivated the entire nation's attention. Even under intense questioning, Jeffrey maintained a calm demeanor, his military discipline preventing him from revealing any further secrets. He spent his first years back in custody studying the prison's logistics, looking for the next gap in the system. Every detail was recorded, the timing of the cards, the guard rotations, and the structural weaknesses of the doors. His repeated attempts to escape led to a sentence of over a century, most of it to be served alone. To Jeffrey Manchester, walls are not a finality, but a puzzle that has yet to be solved with precision. The case remains one of the most unusual in the agency history, a testament to the power of specialized training. Today, the only evidence that remains are the subtle patches on the roofs of dozens of restaurants across the country. The abandoned stores have long since been renovated, but the legend of the men who lived inside them still lingers. In the library, he continues to educate himself, his mind always working on the next impossible problem to be solved. He remains a figure of mystery, a man who transformed his military excellence into a career of cinematic criminal audacity. The Roofman story is a reminder that the most dangerous weapon is often a mind that refuses to be contained. Behind the steel doors of Supermax, the man who lived in the ceiling is still looking for his next way out. Investigators spend weeks analyzing the truck's undercarriage, realizing their target survived by clinging to a frame just inches above the pavement. The recovered platform is a masterpiece of desperate engineering, painted matte black to vanish into the deep shadows of a moving vehicle. While the world searched the highways, Jeffrey was already inside, using baby monitors to create a makeshift surveillance network across the store. He carved a sanctuary out of an abandoned electronics store, building a secret apartment behind a false wall that baffled initial searches.
I swear, the seagull flew
in the
right
silence
into
of the
pastry,
abandoned store,
feathers everywhere.
he lived a ghost's life, powered by a single
disaster,
extension
but a
cord
delicious
snaked
one.
through the ceiling. To the congregation, he was David, a helpful and soft-spoken man who never missed a service or a chance to volunteer.
To the back
He
of the
mastered
store
the art
now.
of the double
Move.
life, gaining the trust of a community while hiding a century of prison time. He even found romance, dating a single mother who believed she had finally found a stableman to help raise her children. On the day after Christmas, the Roofman returned, attempting to rob the very store that had served as his secret home. The professional's plan collapsed when two employees managed to slip through a side exit, alerting the police to the ongoing heist. The agency converged on the retail complex, sealing every exit as they realized the Roofman was trapped inside his own lair. He fled through a secret passage he had carved between the buildings, vanishing into the hollow spaces of the commercial architecture. Inside the hidden room, investigators found a copy of a movie about a fugitive, a meta-commentary on his own impossible life. That single fingerprint provided the definitive link, confirming that the ghost of the toy store was indeed the escaped Jeffrey Manchester.
You're hurting me.
3 weeks later, the run ended on a quiet street when a vigilant citizen recognized the face from the national news. The Roofman was finally grounded, his second run for freedom ending not with a jump, but with a tackle in the snow. He was transported under heavy guard to a maximum security facility, where the walls were designed specifically to contain men like him. In 2009, he attempted to exploit the chaos of a fire alarm, hoping to slip through a door left open by responders. The attempt failed within seconds, adding another decade to a sentence that was already longer than a human lifetime. Following his repeated attempts, the agency moved him to Supermax isolation, a place where time and space are strictly controlled. He spends 23 hours a day in a concrete box, his only connection to the world being a small slot for food. Even after years in isolation, his mind remains a weapon, constantly searching for a flaw in the engineering of his cage. In 2017, the agency discovered diagrams in his cell detailing a route through the maintenance tunnels that nearly led to freedom. Psychologists describe him as a man who cannot accept the concept of walls, a personality fundamentally wired for the escape. To the agency, he is a living legend of the underworld, a reminder that the most dangerous weapon is a patient mind. His story is now a case study in tactical brilliance and the inevitable failure of a life lived in the shadows. In Gastonia, the only evidence of his presence is a subtle scar on the roof, a permanent mark of the double robbery. The stores have long since closed, leaving behind empty shells that once held the secret life of the nation's most creative thief. Behind the steel doors of Supermax, the man who lived in the ceilings waits, his mind still reaching for the heights. The Roofman's legacy is a fusion of tactical genius and the crushing reality of a life spent in pursuit of the impossible. The agency finally closed the file, but the lessons learned from the hunt for Jeffrey Manchester will be studied for generations. Every day is a rehearsal for a performance that may never happen, a life lived in a state of constant, silent readiness.
According to the new mandates.
He remains the ghost who came through the ceiling, a man who reminded us that even the most secure roofs have holes. The story ends here, in a vault of broken dreams and tactical failures, where the Roofman's rope hangs as a warning. The agency implemented the Roofman protocol, mandating that every fast food location reinforce their ceiling structures with impenetrable steel mesh. Security experts analyzed Jeffrey's patterns, leading to the nationwide installation of motion sensors within the crawl spaces of every major retail chain. The woman known as his girlfriend spent years questioning every memory, unable to reconcile the loving David with the cold-blooded Roofman. The Crossroads congregation held a special service to heal the community after discovering their most helpful member was a wanted fugitive. Psychologists classified Manchester as having a rare, escape syndrome, where the act of breaking out became more important than freedom itself. The metal shop where he built his escape platform was permanently closed, ending the era of inmate-led industrial manufacturing in that facility. His tactical innovations, like wearing socks over boots to muffle footsteps, are now taught to agents as examples of criminal adaptability. The elite training of the 82nd Airborne provided the foundation for his crimes, turning a soldier's skills into a burglar's greatest weapons. Today, Manchester is held in a facility designed to break the spirit of even the most determined escape artists in the world. Despite the isolation, he continues to map the world around him, his mind forever searching for the one flaw in the system. His life is a cautionary tale of how a lack of support for veterans can lead a brilliant mind toward a path of destruction. The physical locations of his crimes have mostly vanished, demolished to make way for a new era of more secure retail development. In the end, the $180,000 he stole was a small price compared to the century of life he traded for a few moments of freedom. The Gastonia chase is now a mandatory case study for every recruit, illustrating the unpredictability of a suspect with elite military training. The boy from Rancho Cordova who loved baseball and bikes is a distant memory, replaced by the legend of the criminal ghost. He is monitored 24 hours a day by advanced systems that ensure the roofman will never see the sky again. His honorable service was stripped of its meaning, leaving behind only the cold efficiency of a man who broke his oath. The agency considers the file closed, but the tactical lessons learned from the roofman will influence law enforcement for decades to come. Modern security is built on the failures exposed by Manchester, creating a world where hiding in the shadows is nearly impossible. To a man who spent his life climbing and jumping, the sight of a bird is a painful reminder of the heights he lost. The black platform remains a masterpiece of improvised engineering, a testament to the ingenuity that Jeffrey wasted on a life of crime. The secret rooms and hidden passages are gone, buried under the concrete of a new world that has moved on from his legend. For Jeffrey Manchester, time has become a static concept, a long, unchanging road toward a release date he may never reach. The agency's reach now extends into every corner of the digital and physical world, ensuring no ghost can haunt the ceilings again. In the deepest hours of the night, the paratrooper still dreams of the wind, the rope, and the perfect, silent descent. His tools are now artifacts of a different era, preserved as a reminder of the strangest robbery the agency ever investigated. Jeffrey Manchester remains a duality, a man of incredible skill who chose to live a life of incredible deception. The story of the roofman ends not with a bang, but with the quiet, final click of a file being locked away. The ghosts of his crimes still linger in the empty spaces of the suburbs, a reminder that the ceiling is never truly solid. Every detail of his hidden life was documented, creating a blueprint of a man who managed to live in plain sight. He remains the most disciplined prisoner in the system, his body confined but his mind forever planning the next impossible move.
The mechanical stress is
He
highest
remains
at
the
these
ghost who came through
articulation
the ceiling,
points.
a legend of the agency
If the
that will never be
nanofibers
forgotten
fail
or
during
repeated. The file is now inactive, but the shadow of the roofman will always be part of the agency's darkest history.